Hey YouTubers, it's time for a little update on my Sakura D3 chassis project. We have been doing some upgrades to it. I've had some requests from people that also own this chassis to kind of tell them what exactly I've been doing with it and how it's been doing since I've owned it. So I have all the stock parts laid out right here, and we'll go over them piece by piece and show you exactly what we're replacing on this chassis and why. So here's our Sakura chassis. As you can see, it's still holding up pretty well. Haven't had any complaints out of it. So let's get into the breakdown of what's going on here with it. So we've replaced the front bulkheads, which are these top parts right here. And they are actually kind of hiding down in here. This is the front bulkhead in here. And it goes around and wraps around the motor and mounts into the bottom of the chassis here, and this is actually is a very important piece because it holds so much and braces so much on this car. It acts as a motor mount. It holds the spur gear. It holds the front drive shaft for both of the front pulleys. It holds on to the actual. It comes all the way through and mounts into the center brace part here. So this aluminum bulkhead comes all the way through and matches into the center brace, so it stiffens the whole car from the front to the rear. So it's a pretty important part. And to get it in aluminum, I think it also acts as a heat sink to get some of the heat off the motor. Just because the motor mount itself is hooked into the front bulkhead on this side. So as you can see, once you bolt this thing together, it's pretty much one solid piece of aluminum. So any heat that it can soak away from the motor is always good. So I thought it was a pretty good upgrade part. So we'll move on towards the back a little bit. Here is the new steering linkage from 3 Racing. If you can see it from the side, you can see how beefy it is. Like, it's really, really thick and strong. And what's cool about it is 3 Racing said, hey, while we're redesigning this thing, let's go ahead and put a bearing right in here to give it more smooth action and without any kind of slop. So what they did was they took out the little metal bushing like so, which has a bolt going through it, which after a while could probably wear and create slop in the steering. So they said, yeah, let's just go ahead and while we're upgrading this, go ahead and put a little bearing in there so it has a nice smooth action. No slop in there at all. Super tight. Okay. So we've got our little belt tensioner hiding in here, of course, to get rid of that loose belt symptom they've got on the Sakuras. And so now moving through it, we've got to our lower rear bulkhead parts, which are hiding down in here. And they stiffen up the whole rear of the car. And it's what everything is based off of. Everything's bracketed to and based off the rear bulkhead. So I think it's a pretty good upgrade to stiffen all this stuff up and make it a lot more durable. And it looks good too, doesn't it? So we have the lower bulkhead part, which is these. And then there is the upper part of the bulkhead that goes down and holds the bearing on top of the bottom of the bulkhead. Back in here. And I went ahead and upgraded the little shock seats down here on the bottom. This is where the spring sits, and they just had these little aluminum spring seats on TQ Racing, so I went ahead and ordered those, and they fit on there really nicely and you know, give it a nice look and a finished off look to the shock versus pink, 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 and then black. I just wanted it all the same color, so it looks really good. Function wise, I'm pretty sure it doesn't do anything different than the stock plastic part. It just looks better. So moving on towards the back, we replaced the rear pulley holders, which is right here, like so. We've taken that out and replaced it with that nice part there. And of course, I've got my little spacer hiding down in there. You can see it. It's a little silver spacer in there, and that's like a not even a 1 millimeter thick spacer. And what that does is it also raises up this rear pulley holder and makes the belt tension just about perfect. So through the power of YouTube and all the other Sakura chassis owners, I saw that little trick of putting that little spacer in there just to make that belt just that much tighter, and it works just wonderfully. So, and what we've also got replaced is the rear belt tensioner mount. This is going to be kind of hard to see, but it is hidden down in there. Let's see if I can get a good shot at it. It's kind of hiding down in there. It's right down in there. Right in there. And one of the good things about replacing this to aluminum is if you've noticed on your stock plastic one that if you try to loosen the bolt on the bottom of the chassis to move that holder, that pulley holder, it really kind of gets tough sometimes because the whole thing will want to spin. The beauty of the aluminum is it doesn't move, so when you put your screw into it, it stays nice and true and straight. So it keeps that belt just right on the rear. So this is the upgrades I've done so far, and the chassis it's holding up really well. We've been drifting the heck out of these things all the time, so we've been really enjoying it. Everybody's been raving about it. We've got a couple of them in our group. So what we've been doing is working on our new cars for wintertime. And so with it being 20 degrees outside, it's always good to stay inside and work on your RC projects. So this is what I've been working on. This is my little Hachiroku. This is a little blue Toyota A86 as they call it. And it's coming together pretty nicely. Just been messing with it. It's got these are Speedway Pal Slidemaster 8mm offset rims in like a gunmetal color with some HPIT drifts on there, and they are doing just fine. So I've always liked the little Toyotas. I've been a fan of them all the time. I always wanted to have one and build one, so this is my little wintertime project, and it's coming together really nicely. I think it looks pretty dang good. Looks pretty dang good, I think. So look for it in some future videos, and also I'm going to do another how-to video, probably on my next video, on how to turn an aluminum rod like this from Home Depot, which you can get for like $6, into a nice exhaust tip. And it's pretty easy to do, and it's very durable and will last a very long time. So we'll get into that in the future and get you guys doing some more how-to stuff and easy stuff at home. So happy holidays. Hope you liked my video, and thanks for watching.